The 881st edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com and use promo code MMA SGPN.
Hello, Generinos. Welcome to the MMA Gambling Podcast, the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, episode 781. 881. I knew I'd screw it up.
Yeah, you're almost there.
I'm dedicated to our most recent comment on YouTube, which is from Money Grindin, who commented on our PFL video, Fades of the Week. So I guess he's saying we're the Fades of the Week. So
that's weird. Right after we went 9-3
exactly
on regional MMA last week and won like 7 units or something.
That's why I like to call those out, because they obviously aren't paying any attention to us. I am the Berserker, Jeff Fox. The other voice you heard is the man who you don't want to fade. It would be Daniel Gumby-Reeland. He made everyone rich last week, but yeah, this is the time to complain about him. He even did good in UFC. He did good everywhere. We're covering UFC today. It's the second half of our UFC Fight Night breakdown. Back to the UFC Apex, UFC Vegas 108, I believe, is the number we're up to now. Makeshift main event, still a good main event. It would have been better maybe a few years down the road, a year down the road, but you get what you get. So we're going to break it down. Thoughts on the main card, Gumby, or the lines? Anything you're interested in seeing here?
I think kind of similar to yesterday. You know, looking at this, there's a couple of prospects I'm super hyped about. There's some really good matchmaking in terms of like, you know, I think we've said before in the past, or I know I've said in the past, like, my favorite kind of matchmaking is one that answers a question. And there are a couple of fights in here where I'm like, oh, that's going to tell me whether or not that guy's ready for this, or that's going to tell me whether or not this guy, that was a blip on his radar, if he's like really there. And I like that about this fight card. All
right, there you go. Before we dive into it, another thing we like, Gummy's actually on one of the most recent episodes, is our NFL team breakdowns. They are back. Sports Gambling Podcast is back with the 32 NFL team previews. They're also bringing back the phrase that pays. Each episode, they'll give out one word of a 32-word phrase. Submit the phrase for a chance to win $1,000 circa future. So definitely check out at the very least, check out the Dallas Cowboy episode where Gumby tries to defend his team against a couple of haters. Right?
I didn't even straight up defend him. I'm a realist.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's hard with those two. You don't really want to fight with your bosses too much, right? But yeah. We got Giants and Eagles fans running the network here, so Gumby's an enemy turf. So UFC Fight Night, Taira versus Park is what we're talking about. Saturday, 6 p.m. is the prelims. I would take it. The main card would be 9 p.m. ESPN is where you can find the main card, and we're going to break down 6 fights today. We broke down the first 6 yesterday. Now we're on to the main card 6. We're starting with the featherweight bout, Danny Silva versus Kevin Vallejos, U.S. versus Argentina's. Since it's Argentinian, you know where he's fought before.
Samurai Fight House. We just got a Samurai Fight House signing for Dana White's Contender Series.
Really?
Yeah. One of their champs who's actually American, which is pretty weird too.
Interesting. We're going to talk about a champ in one moment. First, we're going to tell you about Silva. He's El Puma, 10-1 with 5 knockouts. He's never been finished. He's 2-0 in the UFC. He's won 4 straight. He's last lost a fight December 2022. He went 1-0 Contender Series. He missed weight before. He used to fight at 155, 4 inches taller than Vallejos, 2 inches longer, better striking stats, more active landing strikes, and better grappling stats than Vallejos. He has been outstruck in the UFC and the Contender Series by 0.6 strikes per minute. He's at plus 337. El Chino for Vallejos, 15-1, 11 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's never been finished in a fight as well. 1-0 in the UFC. He's won 4 straight, all via finish. 1-1 on Contender Series. Who did you lose to, Gumby? I don't care who he beat.
Gian Silva.
Yes. Very good loss.
And then he fought Cam Teague, who's now back on this year's edition as well.
He's a multi-time Samurai Fight House champ, 2 different weight classes. He used to fight at 135 and 155. He's 4 years younger than Silva. He has outstruck his opponents in the UFC and the Contender Series by 0.78 strikes per minute, minus 380. Give me El Chino. Vallejos, just too much power. That's pretty much what it comes down to. I think he just has way too much power and finishing ability on the feet than Silva here. So I'll take him at the wide line.
And I know a couple of people who've tried to talk themselves into the Danny Silva side based on his wrestling, because Danny Silva can wrestle a little bit. But like, I think we're talking about levels here. And if you watch Vallejos defend the Gian Silva takedowns, like he defended 2 out of 3 of Gian Silva's takedowns. And I think when he defended the first one, Gian Silva was like, oh, maybe we don't go back to that. and he doesn't again for like another 8 minutes of fight time. And so like that really tells you the type of takedown defense he's got, because like Gian Silva is a damn good grappler. And then like, yeah, we've seen Danny Silva take down some people and like have some control in there, but also like you can go back and you can see sometimes where like his grappling like kind of let him down. Like go back and watch his last loss. He lost to that guy who was on Contender Series, Kenan Kouahi, who's now like no, he just lost on for the Tough Enough title. But Kouahi like scores the takedowns on Silva. It's like Silva's grappling that lets him down in that fight. So like that to me is not a path to victory. And then when you just like, if you match up their hands, it's not even close, right? Vallejos is so fast, so sharp, so crisp. Like he went 15 minutes with Gian Silva and like made Gian Silva work. Like Drew Dober's not doing that. Like Bryce Mitchell's not doing that. Like this kid is like destined for top 15, top 10, top 5 kind of stuff in the future. And he's already kind of proven those types of things. So yeah, I think Silva's in a bad spot here.
Does he finish him, or should we wait till later to talk about it?
I may have some stuff written down for you.
Right.
I actually don't know if I worked that. No, I didn't work that into anything, but
okay.
I think because his KO prop is still kind of low. KO prop's plus 100.
Yeah. I see it at plus 112.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And that's like not a bad
number.
number on its own. I couldn't fit it into the Hungry Man or anything like that. And I have a prop I like better. So yeah, that's do I like my prop better?
Oh, you might change your mind now.
Change my mind on that. Anyway, go ahead, continue. I'll marinate.
If you're going to take Vallejos, should you just take him via knockout?
No, I think
it's so much different. Minus 380 though.
No, Silva's pretty durable too, though.
He's
top stuff. And he's a guy who fights pretty safe. Like I could see him like surviving after being like he could get tagged and like find a way to survive.
Yep.
And so like I think this is that's a good price. If you like Vallejos by knockout, getting him at that price isn't bad, but like I don't think that's like the only way to play him.
Right. Okay. We're going to welterweights now. Neil Magny, US Elizeu, Zaleski dos Santos from Brazil. We tell you about Magny first. The Haitian sensation is 29-13, 8 knockouts, four submissions. Most of his fights in the UFC as well. He's been knocked out 4 times, submitted 6 times. 22-12 in the UFC. He has lost 2 straight, both via knockout or TKO. He's won 3 of 8 and 5 of 10. He went 3-1 in the Ultimate Fighter. He's fight at 185. 2010 Pro MMA debut. 4 inches taller than Dos Santos. 7 inches reach on him, because that is Neil Magny against everyone in welterweight division. I guess Dos Santos is a kind of small too for the division. Size, height-wise at least. Magny has outstruck his opponents by 0.95 strikes per minute. He's at plus 175. Capoeira Dos Santos, because he doesn't have enough names already. 25-9-1. 15 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out twice, submitted twice. 11-5-1 in the UFC. Loss over his last 3. 3-2-1 over his last 6. Got TKO'd in his last bout. However, he has multiple region championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get a shirt, get a merch, sportsgamblingpockets.com/store. 2009 Pro MMA debut. He's more active landing strikes than Magny. He's outstruck his points by 0.74 strikes per minute. He's at minus 190. I'm going dog here. I'm taking Neil Magny.
Well, I usually go first on that one, but
I'm sorry. You going dog too?
I'm going to say that I'll go dog too. Yeah. I mean, I'll kick this one off if you don't mind. But
sorry. Go ahead.
I'll take Magny. I think his record's deceiving as hell, man. And I pulled it up. I got it right here just because of how deceiving it is, right? Because you talked about it. He's won 2 of his last 6 fights. Here are the losses: Carlos Praches, Michael Morales, Ian Machado Gary, Gilbert Burns. And if you want to peel it back one more than that, he's lost 5 of his last 8. The other one's Shavkat Rakhmonov.
Yeah.
Like, the losses are insane. Like, they have been feeding this guy to every up-and-coming prospect, with the exception of Burns in there. Like, Burns is the stalwart there in that fight. But, like, and then the wins come against Phil Rowe, who just had a good fight. Mike Malott, who he's, like, the blemish on Malott's record. Daniel Rodriguez, who just, like, came out of the woodwork and picked up a big win. He beat Jeff Neal. He beat Max Griffin. Like, this is still a guy who's beating dudes who are nipping at the top 15, and he himself is pretty damn good. And then on the other side, we got a guy who just got knocked out by Chidi Njokuani, and we're going to post him as a favorite. And no shame on Chidi, but like, this guy's losing to Chidi and losing to Randy Brown, and his only win in the last 3 years is against Zach Scroggins. And somehow we've got faith against him, in this fight. And, as you said, the length of Magny is huge. It always has been. He's an underrated wrestler. Elizeu Zaleski Santos is one of those guys who's going to throw something weird and spinny, and there's a good chance he gets taken down in the process there, loses a round he shouldn't lose. So, yeah, I'm with you. I'm taking Neil Magny.
Yeah, I wrote an article on this one already, so I knew who he had lost to recently. Yeah, they're using him as a gatekeeper, which is what basically you should do. And
it seems like then they're giving him a "I'm sorry I did that to you" kind of fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like,
yeah. So the only one you really kept out of the gate was Mike Malott, but they fed him the cream of the crop. The other ones, yeah. The fact that hopefully this doesn't mean everyone's going to knock him out, because Dos Santos has a lot of power as well. But he's crafty, he's long, and he's fighting a guy who's going to be more on his level of speed as well. He's not a guy half his age that's going to be super quick. So I think he's a live dog here for sure. So let's take him. All right. We are brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet in every sport, including MLB, WNBA, golf, and of course, football futures. MyBookie accepts customers for a ton of locations. They have easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Yes, they have all these UFC lines there. And when you do head to mybookie.ag, use our promo code MMASGPN. That way you get 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code MMASGPN. And you've heard us talk about Rhythm before, and they just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends. It's essentially the best of the best of what their house model has to offer. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a high ROI. Think a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets. Here's some stats for you. The MLB Power Trends are 254 or 147, a win rate of 63%, and an ROI of 4.5% in their past 400 bets. WNBA Power Trends are 35 and 20 since launch, 63.64% win rate, 20.7% ROI. Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. You know we will be. Gumby has been with WNBA, something he really knew nothing about before.
Right, yeah, they've helped me with that, but also they helped me even with teams that I love. On Wednesday, the Braves were playing the Royals, and they reminded me that maybe Joey Wentz doesn't suck at pitching, despite the fact that all the other Braves pitchers are injured. Yep. And reminded me maybe the higher than on his strikeouts would be a good idea. And what did he do? He went out there and struck out 7 Royals, which is a pretty damn good number. So, you can find out stuff about leagues you know nothing about and teams you know everything about.
And he didn't get hurt too, right? I take it.
So I think he's still healthy, knock on wood.
Fantastic.
Nobody else is on that squad.
Yes. All right. Check out Power Trends for yourself. You can get a 7-day free trial by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm, RITHMM. All right. We're to a female bantamweight bout. Karol Rosa from Brazil, Nora Cornolle from France. Now let's break it down by talking about the French fighter first. Wonder Nora Cornolle, 9-2, 6 knockouts, 2 submissions. She's never been finished. 3-1 in the UFC. She's won 9 of 10. Won her last bout via submission, something we didn't see coming. She missed weight twice before. I think she missed weight last bout as well, or at least recently. Used to fight at 145, 32-4-1 as a kickboxer. She's a Muay Thai champion as well. She had 2 inches of height over Rosa. She's outstruck her opponents in the UFC by 1.16 strikes per minute. She's at plus 167. Rosa is 18-7, 4 knockouts, 2 submissions. She's been submitted twice. 7-4 in the UFC. Loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss is the pattern for her. Used to fight at 145, 2012 Pro MMA debut. She's 5 years younger than Cornolle, twice more active landing strikes, better grappling stats. She's outstruck her opponents at 1.38 strikes per minute, minus 175. I'm going to go against the trend here. I'm going to take Cornolle just because it's fun, I think, to take Cornolle. I think she's going to be the better striker. I don't really have faith in Rosa. She just doesn't show up often. And Cornolle always shows up. Even in losses, she shows up. I think she's going to be a better striker, a more dangerous striker. Hopefully she keeps the fight standing, and Rosa has one of her do-nothing fights.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you. I'm going to take Nora Cornolle. She's another one who I was like, I did go back and forth on this fight because, like, when you go back and you watch Karol Rosa in a fight where she's, like, comfortable, she looks really good, right? Like, I had her pegged at, like, a top 5, possibly will fight for a title at one point in time in her career. When Rosa looks good, she looks really good. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking about that Pani Kianzad fight where she just looked, was it I think it was Pani who she took it to. She just looked untouchable. But, like, Nora does a really good job at making sure her opponent doesn't feel comfortable. Like you're talking that last fight that she won by rear naked choke. She beat Haley Cowan. She got right in her kitchen. She's throwing jabs, getting in the clinch, throwing elbows, shooting a takedown when you weren't expecting it. And even though that's the kind of fight Haley Cowan wanted. She like still made her uncomfortable because she's like, you never saw that coming. And like, I think she can do that here with Rosa. I think she can put her up against the cage, make her think about having to be clinched up with a good Muay Thai fighter. You know, you mentioned Nora Cornolle, like champion Muay Thai fighter. Like, I think she can do the like clinch stuff she needs to do to make Karol Rosa fight one of the bad Karol Rosa fights, right? Because as long as Rosa fights like she did in her last fight, Cornolle should kill her. If she fights like she did in the Panty Kianzad fight, like she should lose. But like it might be more about like Nora forcing her to feel uncomfortable to do that. So I like the precision on Cornolle. I like the finishing ability too. Like you go back and you watch some of those older ones. She won with the body kick. You know, on the regional scene, she was knocking everybody out. Like she's got some surprising power in there. And I know Rosa hasn't been knocked out, but she's also maybe never fought a striker quite Nora Cornolle's level. So yeah, give me Nora here.
At the very least, she's going to fight for her money. I don't really know if Rosa will. That's basically my read on this.
It's really disappointing when she fights that way. Like, and I'm pretty sure I've been in on her more than once where I was like, what is she doing out there? And I just won't do it again.
Yep. There you go. This could be a whole team right episode, Gumby, because I think I know who you're taking in the next few fights.
Maybe.
So, yeah, I don't know if we've had one of those. Esteban Ribovics is next. He's from Argentina as well. He's fighting Elves.
Samurai Fight House?
Did he fight in the Samurai Fight House?
I don't know, but it feels like he should have if he's from.
He should have. I'll check in. I usually mark these. Oh, maybe he wasn't a champ there. He probably fought there and he wasn't a champ. Let's see.
It is a tough org, dude.
Yeah, he was a champ there too. I don't know why.
Look at that.
I just have him listed as a multiple champ. Yes, he was a champ there too. Yeah, that's right. Because Samurai Fight House is putting out some social media about him and Vallejos. Yeah. All right. So he is fighting Ribovics, obviously. That's what we're talking about. Elves Brenner from Brazil. They're fighting 155. Tell you about Brenner first. He's 16-5, 3 knockouts, 11 submissions. He's been knocked out once, 3-2 in the UFC. He's lost 2 straight. Before that, he won 5 straight. Before that, he lost 2 straight. TKO lost in his last belt. Ball to reach championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get a shirt, get a merch, get all the good stuff. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. He used to fight at 145 and 165. He's got 3 inches reach over Ribovics. He's a year younger. He's been outstruck in the UFC by 1.31 strikes per minute. He's at plus 221. Ribovics is El Gringo, 14-2, 7 knockouts, 5 submissions, never been finished in a fight, 3-2 in the UFC. So he's won 3 of his last 5. The pattern is loss, win, loss. 1-0 contender series, Samurai Fight House champ. I did have that written down. 2015 pro MMA debut. He's twice more active than Brenner. He's outstruck his opponents by 2.16 strikes per minute, minus 228. Tell the people why he is the pick, Gumby.
Yeah, we got to go with Esteban Ribovics. And the big reason why is like, you know, I was pretty big on Els Brenner for a while. Like he came onto the scene, he beat Zabira Tugugov. Did that age well? Probably not.
Nope.
And then he beat Guram Kutataladze. And like, first of all, he was losing that fight when he found the knockout. Did that age well?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little better than the Tugugov one.
Yeah.
And then who did he get next? Kenan Kraszewski?
Yeah.
Like
did that age well?
No, that didn't age well.
Who are these people?
He's the only guy from the Fighting Nerds to not still be in the UFC after being in it for a while. Like, and so like he came onto the scene and picked up 3 wins against guys who I like kind of had a lot of faith in, and like since have kind of like lost faith in him. And one of those fights, he looked pretty damn bad in it until he pulled the victory from the jaws of defeat. And then like, you know, he followed that up by fighting guys, you know, like Mike Tebek Oralbai and Joel Alvarez, and like both of those guys dropped it too, and dropped him pretty viciously. And he'd like, I think he's one of those guys who, when he came onto the scene, I was like, he's a shoot to box guy. He just marches forward and he takes your punches. Well, he's taken a lot of those punches now. It's the problem. And like at a certain point, it matters, right? At a certain point in time. And like with Ribovics hits super hard. You know, Ribovics is a guy who, I mean, he goes into wars and he does well in those wars. Like I'm thinking back at the Zellhuber fight, he landed 156 strikes in that fight. You know, like, and went toe-to-toe, absolute war in the sphere. And yeah, like, maybe not the best fight against Nasrat Hakparas, but the output's still there. It's still 145 strikes or 147 strikes. Like, he's got great output for a guy who loves to eat output. And like his cardio isn't bad enough for me to like doubt it. So yeah, I like Ribovics. I think he pieces him up for, you know, as long as the fight's on.
Me too. For all those reasons, I came down on his side as well. Yeah, Brenner. Well, we're off the Brenner train. He has been, as can be said, he has been damaged goods, I guess we could call him, perhaps at this point. So I think Ribovics is going to piece him up on the old feet. Co-main event, Scottish fighter Chris Duncan versus the Polish fighter Mateusz Rębecki. They're fighting at 155. They're fighting in 3 5-minute rounds. The problem, Chris Duncan is 13-2, 7 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted once. He's 4-1 in the UFC. He's won 2 straight and 6 of 7. Both of his past 2 wins have come via submission. He went 1-1 in Contender Series. Do you remember who he fought or who he beat or any of that stuff?
He lost to Slava Claus.
There you
Slava
go.
Claus, that was who he knocked out. And then he's the one who almost got knocked out and then marched forward, and the other guy marched forward.
I remember this fight. Yeah.
Charlie Campbell,
yes,
the cannibal.
Correct.
Yeah.
You're right. Yes. And yes, people who question whether I remember things, sometimes I do remember things. I remember that fight. 3-0 in Bellator, RIP. He's fed at 170. He's 3 inches taller than Rębecki, 5 inches longer. He has outstruck his opponents by 0.57 strikes per minute. He's at plus 180. Rębecki is 20-2, 9 knockouts, 7 submissions. He's been knocked out twice. 4-1 in the UFC, 16-1 over his last 17. He won his last bout. 1-0 Contender Series. He's a regional champ. He's fed at 165. 2014 Pro MMA debut. Better striking stats, more active landing strikes, and better grappling stats than Duncan. He's outstruck his opponents by the exact same number as Duncan. I don't know if we've had this before. He's at plus 0.57 as well. Minus 198. That's a sneaky good record, eh? People don't really think of that. He's 20-2, and he's fought in pretty solid organizations.
And he's got like tons of grappling experience too. Like, I think I've mentioned it before on here, but he grappled Mateusz Gamrot, and it was really close. It was like a really good fight.
Yeah, Rębecki is our choice here. You got to be careful with Duncan, as he's shown in the past 2 fights. He's very sneaky on the ground. He can finish you, but this is for Rębecki excels at grappling. I think he's better on the feet as well. So I think he's the solid pick here.
I don't think he's better on the feet. I'm going to go with Rębecki too. I don't think he's better on the feet. I think Duncan has kind of gotten away from what he's really good at and has like started jumping guillotines and like, look, hey, it worked, right? Like, it's cool when it works twice, but it works differently against Balaji than it does Mateusz Rębecki, right?
Yes.
Like, Rębecki's been sticking himself into guillotines and getting his way out of it for 22 fights now. Like, that's just his game.
Yeah.
I feel like this almost feels like I call it a Gabriel Gonzaga fight for Chris Duncan. Chris Duncan had success doing something he probably shouldn't do, and it's eventually going to cost him because he's started to believe in it.
Yeah.
When Gabriel Gonzaga head kicked Mirko Krokop, he's like, I'm a kickboxer, and then proceeded to try to kickbox Randy Couture. And like, dude, you're a world champion Brazilian jiu-jitsu specialist. Like, why are you not doing jiu-jitsu in this fight?
Yep.
And like, I almost feel the exact opposite of Chris Duncan. Like, I think he's wicked dangerous with the hands. I think he could be dangerous with the hands in this fight. I think if he tried to put a pace on Rębecki, we've seen him tire a little bit, but he doesn't really tire grappling. He tires boxing. He tires when he's thrown the same overhand right 72 times in a row. So like, if he forced Rębecki to box a little bit and didn't jump the guillotine and give up a takedown and let Rębecki settle into where he's comfortable, I think he could be problems. But look, I think the fact that it's worked twice, I think he's going to fall in love with it. I think you're going to see the grappling of Rębecki, especially the top control, just being too much for Chris Duncan.
There you go. Team Ride still is alive. All right, before we get to the very last pick and our fantasy place, time to tell you about Circa Million and Circa Survivor. The world's greatest sportsbook, Circa Las Vegas, is hosting the biggest pro football contests. The world's biggest, not just the biggest, the world's biggest. Circa Million, Circa Survivor, and Circa Grandissimo, with over $21 million in guaranteed prizes. You can't call yourself a true degen if you're not competing in the Circa football contest. Come hang out with SGPN at the Circa contest weekend, August 21st to 23rd, for an amazing weekend, including live shows and open bars. Plus, you get 15% off a stay at the Circa with promo code SGP15. Contests are open to everyone. Sign up in Nevada and play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com and use promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. And Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. No waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the best way to play fantasy football. Underdog is also a great place to play Pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times your entry. Gummy's got to play for you right now.
Sure. Andrew Abbott starting against the Braves on Thursday night, which you should get this in your ears before then. And I'm going to take the higher than on the strikeouts. Braves swinging and missing a lot right now, and Abbott is kind of a beast.
You like your K plays, don't you?
Oh, I'm a big strikeout guy. Yeah. You know, former D3 relief pitcher here. You got to believe in the strikeout plays.
Sign up with our code MMA SGPN to claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. Underdogfantasy.com, promo code MMA SGPN. To our main event, makeshift main event. Tatsuro Taira versus Hyun Sung Park. We got Japan versus South Korea. So our dreams of a Salsa Boy main event, Gumby, didn't come to fruition. It was all just smoke.
I know. I heard it. I was getting ready. I had the fade all ready to go. But yeah, no, I think this is better though, isn't it?
Obviously, it's better than
like 5 rounds of this might rule.
Yeah, exactly. Let's break it down. Tell you about Park first. He's peace of mind. 10-0, 4 knockouts, 5 submissions. He's 3-0 in the UFC. He's taking his fight on short notice, very short notice, less than a week. 2-0 on the road to UFC and the champion there. He's won 9 straight fights via finish. He's a regional champion. He went 0-1 in pro kickboxing. He's more active landing strikes than Taira. He has got a positive strike differential, 0.98 strikes per minute. He's at plus 287. Taira is 16-1, 5 knockouts, 7 submissions. He's never been finished as well. 6-1 in the UFC. He's lost his last bout. He's a regional champion. He used to fight at 115 and 135. He's got 4 inches of reach over Park. He's 5 years younger. He's outstruck his opponents by 0.3 strikes per minute, minus 330. It sucks. I guess not. It doesn't matter if you lose a fight in MMA. I think it's too much too soon. Plus short notice on top of it for Park. He's a real solid looking prospect, but Taira is ahead of him in progression, ahead of him basically everywhere. I think he's better than him everywhere. He's fought better competition. He's younger, which helps as well. And he's been training for a full fight camp. So even if he loses, I'm still going to be high on Park, but I think Taira wins this fight.
I like that you just decided to go first on every fight in this episode.
It was me this time.
No, it's number 6. I go on the evens on the main card episode.
Damn it, Gumby is taking Park as well.
Yeah, I'm going to take Tatsuro Taira. I'm not taking Hyun Sung Park. Look, I think Park's looks really good in the fights he's been in. But you're right. This is too much too soon. Like Tatsuro Taira just went toe to toe with Royval. Split decision. One of the judges had it for Taira, right? Like that fight was super, super, super close. And then like, I know Parks look good against the guys he's fought, but like there is footage out there of him looking pretty bad. I know he beat, was it Carlos Hernandez with a quick submission? And, I know he's got tons of finishes, but like, if you need a little bit of help getting there on a Tatsuro Taira pick, like just go back and watch Park's fight with Topnoy. Remember Topnoy Kiram? He was a popular talk about this podcast, right? Like everybody loved Kiram. But like Kiram drops him in like the first minute and a half. Park goes like 1 of 3 on takedowns in that fight and does eventually find the finish. So like I'm not doubting his finishing abilities, but like getting stung by Topnoy versus fighting Taira on short notice, like that's a different ball game. And then on top of that, like he's got a lot of quick finishes in his career. Like he's been able to get people out of there super fast. Now he's going to possibly go 25 minutes on short notice with Tatsuro Taira, who's fresh off of having gone 25 minutes with Royval. Like I just think all of that's a bad recipe. So yeah, we'll complete the 12 fight team ride with
fantastic
with Tatsuro Taira.
Unreal. Team ride. Okay. He's got Taira. We both have Taira. Taira, Rębecki, Ribovics, Cornolle, Magny, and Vallejos. All right. We have got some fancy plays for you now. I will let you go first here since I've been rude this whole episode. Inadvertently stealing your thunder, stealing all your plays. Gumby tailed me, just for the record.
Yeah, that's all it was, right? Maybe I'm just not giving you a chance to catch up now that you're behind.
Oh, that's true.
We'll catch up this week, my man.
That's all right. If we both win, I'm happy. So
yeah, that's right. For my lock, I'm gonna go Esteban Ribovics. Not that there aren't some other guys who you would call locks, but yeah, I'm not digging into the negative 500s here to find one. And Ribovics is like the surest thing at a reasonable price.
Yeah, that's the problem. All the favorites are pretty wide odds for us this week. We're in on a few dogs, but all the favorites seem like are in the 200 plus. So who is mine, Gummy? Do you have mine figured out?
I thought you were gonna go Rębecki or Ribovics. Those were my.
You got Ribovics. I'll go Rębecki. Rębecki was the one I was leaning to, so I'll take Rębecki. Basically for the same reasons. The line is more playable than basically the other favorites are. All right, what is your dog?
I'm gonna go Nick Klein.
Okay.
It's as much of a liking Klein as it is a fading of Pulev. So Nick Klein's going to be my dog.
Excellent. I will take Neil Magny. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did.
Neil Magny's my dog. You know why? We just talked about it. All right. What's your fancy play here?
So I'm going to leave Vallejos by KO to you because I think that's what you're going to go
No,
with.
I went off it. I changed. I found a better line on a different fight. But yes, that was my original play. You want to go back to that?
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you the one that I'm going to leave off the board too, just in case. I like Rodolfo Vieira by submission because like if he's going to win that fight, that's probably how he's going to need to get Tresean Gore down one time. That's plus 130. It's a reasonable line there, but I'm going to go, I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to go Vallejos KO. And
it was
told me
121, I think.
Plus 112, I think you said.
112, right. Yes. All right. I switched to Taira via decision because it's at 220. And I can see this fight going the distance. Now the guy, Park's never lost. And it's not like Taira finishes a lot of people, but he doesn't finish everyone. So I can see this one going the distance, especially at flyweight. So give me 2.2 times my money for that chance. So Ribovics and Rębecki are the locks. Klein and Magny are the dogs. Vallejos via knockout. Taira via decision are the props. All right, we got Hungry Man Jong. What?
We're just gonna go parlay this week. Couldn't find a lot of big props that I liked to throw all together, so I am gonna just give you two. First one I like my dog of the week. I like Nick Klein inside the distance, and I intentionally left it at inside the distance because he has grabbed some subs. Pulayev's really susceptible to being knocked out. Klein's actually got quite a few knockouts earlier in his career too. So inside the distance, without even getting too picky, is plus 250. So that's a good starter for a big parlay. And then I'm going to put that with Esteban. I think he's going to knock out Felipe Bunes. And it might not be with the hand. It might be like a TKO on the ground and pound front. But him by KO, TKO, that one's coming out at plus 300. So I'm favoring that, especially because it seemed like in his last few fights when he gets to a good control position on the ground, it seems like he's like, I'll just ground and pound this. There's no reason for me to put a rear naked choke in. So if we get the KO for Esteban, the inside the distance for Klein, you're going to put those two together. You're going to get 13-1.
Nice. We'll take that. All right. You're set now for the UFC. You can get more of us and more of our followers, we'll call them, in the Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/discord. You can hit us up on the old YouTuber MMA Gambling Podcast. You can hit us up on Twitter, SGPN MMA. He's at Gumby Vrila, and I'm at Jeff Fox Writer there and on Instagram. Check out my Substack, moneymma.substack.com. I write about MMA, not surprisingly. Gumby has another podcast called Top Turtle MMA. Another very good episode this week. Tell the people who they can listen to this week on your show.
Yeah, we got Ty Miller, who's going to be on episode 1 of Dana White's Contender Series, and we also got Damon Wilson, who will be on a little bit later on in the season.
All right, so check it out. Both very good interviews. And of course, sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon are the places to go. All right, get us out of here, Gumby.
All right, I'm Daniel Gumby Vreeland. He's Peace of Mind, Jeff Fox, and we see you on Sunday.